Yeah. Ah! You
I'm
up?
not ready.
Were you not prepared?
I'm not. My body's not ready.
It's okay. I promise I'll be nice. I promise I'll be nice.
I'm drinking water like I've just discovered water. I don't know. My my mouth's
Like
dry.
we've
My
had
hands are clammy. Oh, we've done this before. I don't know why I'm like,
It's fine. It's the first time you came on, you didn't have a cam, so you didn't have to worry about the cam, but now you're
yeah.
on the cam. Anyway, how's it going? How's your weekend so far?
Good. Neon and I were like rush cleaning before this. I know we've said it before, but we order in like so much food. We order in food like at least twice a day, guys. It's really, really bad. So we have the amount of garbage and recycling we compile in our house. And we take it out like once a week. So we just like take this mountain of garbage out to the bins. And like my parents are like, "The hell are you doing?" Like, sorry.
I'd be lying if I am the same way.
Yeah.
Since I've been doing this and then just my fridge is empty. My fridge is empty. Like I don't know why I even have a fridge or an oven. I
Right.
can just live in
My
a
fridge
tiny
is
house.
our fridge is for the leftovers. Like
Yeah,
just in
we're
case we want to have
helping
them for midnight snacks.
local small businesses. Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's how we justify all of our purchases. Like McDonald's, the those local family owned businesses.
It's not
McDonald's,
great.
right?
But anyway, how are you? How's everything going with work? I think the last time I talked to you, we were still kind of getting into the swing of things, but like how's juggling work and streaming now? Because I feel like you've kind of
Yeah.
found a groove, right?
Yeah, I actually so the past like 2 weeks or so I've been feeling like really good with my scheduling. Um so I'm based in Toronto. My company is actually based in California. So there's about a 3 hour time difference. I'm working completely remotely, which is awesome. So there is like a little bit of flexibility with my schedule. So I can kind of like disperse my hours however I need to, as long as I get the work done. It's not like the biggest deal. So thankfully that's helped a lot. And I also like knocked off like, one of my streaming days, so only doing 3 days a week now. But yeah, it's I'm working into a really nice flow, which I'm very glad for.
I I'm glad that you went through. I still think so many people stream a lot, like maybe too much, because it's the theory
Yeah.
of put your work off stream, like all of your growth comes off stream, stuff like that. But there's still the argument of like if you're available on stream, people will show up and then ultimately maybe give subs. Like if you want to use an example of
Hmm.
like John who's doing a subathon, right? An uncapped subathon where he's just streaming. Like there's just the opportunity for anyone to come in and just start giving money. Now I know it's a subathon, but it's just the
Yeah.
availability. It's like, am I crazy that should I stream more?
But that's the thing. I feel like it's really individual, right? Because streaming too much can also just be detrimental. Like, this was a debate that a lot of people were having early on, or a couple months ago. It's when is streaming like what is the threshold of streaming too much? And you should also be like spreading your time out on other platforms as well, because those will serve you in a kind of like evergreen type of way versus just streaming. Like your VOD only lasts on Twitch for 2 weeks and then that's gone. It stops working for you.
Yeah.
Put it out a YouTube video, even though those still have kind of a shelf life. It's on there until you take it down or until it gets taken down, but it can be on there forever, and that will bring in views and that will bring in new community members and do that work for you. Same thing with TikTok. I know those still have a shelf life, but like recently I've been seeing that a lot of like older content has been resurfacing.
I have to go
Something
back
with
and
the
look at
algorithm.
I have to look at some of my old TikToks because I don't know if I said some dumb shit, but I've definitely said some dumb shit that
Yeah.
I definitely
You
need
just
to
like
go
redo
back.
them and be like, actually, can I redact this?
Yeah, there. Like I said, when I came to TikTok, I was pretty opinionated, so I don't know if all of them. There's one where I literally said, I read a comment. I was like, if I shake my fat farting butt or something, will I get 10,000 views? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a funny
That's
clip,
class.
but I was like, does that represent what I'm trying to do? Like, if I am I trying to get sponsored by Cinnabon or by like Tanga? Like, what's the difference?
Why not both?
Why not both?
You
That's a
know,
good thing.
diversify.
Yeah. I do want to get into, so you got a job with yours. Like I saw you posted those TikToks and I'm so happy you did, talking about how you can use your experience. Because everybody
Yes.
says it. There's that other Twitch talk guy who talked about like broadcasting and whatnot. But like, how did you go about that? Did you think right away, oh my God, I can use this experience to get a job?
Yeah, 100%. So I have always been like a really big advocate that the like extracurriculars and hobbies you have like outside of your professional career can really carry you far, because those are things you're actually passionate about, and those are things you will actually choose to dedicate your time to and like pour in that extra energy into. And that's who you really are as well. I think there is a lot of emphasis, especially in like the Western nations, that we need to be doing what we love for work. So why not put those things on your resume? So I was a cheerleader in university. I ended up coaching my university's cheerleading team. I put that on my resume as related work experience for years because it showed that I had leadership expertise. It showed I could work with a team. It showed I knew how to manage time, calendar. I worked with like teams of 30 plus or more, managed all this admin stuff. Like it just yeah. So I went into streaming knowing that being a full-time streamer wasn't my end goal. It was the process of fostering all of these skills and abilities that I kind of had already had experience in, but I wanted to do more for myself. Because I had been out of full-time job for about a year. Like I was not working full-time for about a year. I lost my job back in the end of February 2020.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had been doing interviews. I was doing interviews with like Simple, with a bunch of other big tech companies for social media. Didn't get anything and was not doing any. Like I hit a wall where I was like, what's even the point? I keep getting so far into these interviews and then nothing sticking. And I kind of gave up for a little while. And during that time, Neon moved in with me and was like, why don't you start streaming? Like I've got my setup here. Give it a try. At least you'll be doing something. And I'll be like, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I already have experience with the social media aspect and kind of a little bit of that marketing and community management. So I might as well utilize the skills I have and see if I can grow something for myself. Um, so I did, and then when I went to go apply for jobs again, I was like, well, I don't want this huge gap of nothing on my resume. I need to put something on there. So I just added it like really small under like interests.
Oh, you didn't. It was kind of like
Like
an off to the side thing.
yeah, yeah, but it became like a really big highlight point in interviews. So they would ask me obviously like scenario type questions, and I'd be like, actually, in my Twitch stream, this, or I do have an Instagram account. Gave them my handles. I remember going into interviews, and actually, the job that I have now, my boss was like a couple minutes late to one of our interviews because he was looking at my Twitch channel, and he was like, "Oh, I was just checking out your Twitch channel. So I'm late.
I
Like
don't
it's
know
so
if that gives me
awesome." Thank
anxiety
you.
or excitement. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I knew I had like poured in a lot of who I was and a lot of effort into. I know like panels are like not a thing anymore, but I poured in a lot of freaking time into my panels, into my thumbnails. I really honed in on that aesthetic because that's just like who I am as a
No,
person,
yeah.
and like it served me well. So
Listen, okay. Harris Heller didn't say panels were a waste of time. He just said the click through rate. I went to his first or second YouTube live, and I signed up for his membership because I thought like I have a very big head. I thought he would remember my name because hey, it's Anime Daddy, and I'm like, it's a funny name. You remember it. He doesn't remember.
remember me, senpai.
Literally, I'm so needy. I'm such a baby. I went in and then he read it funny. He's like anime daddy like with T's. I was like, yes, he recognized it. And then he kind of just moved on. I was like, no, he doesn't recognize it. All right. So I donated $2 to get my message read.
Oh my
Yeah, no,
gosh.
I'm a thirsty bitch. And then I said, so what are your thoughts on panels? And then he was just like, okay, hear me out. Like I didn't mean anything by it. Please make your panels look nice. It shows effort, but like there's a better click through rate with YouTube descriptions and etc. etc. But
Yeah.
I do also appreciate like you can if you set up a panel like yours, your personality comes through. You see that you've put in
Hmm.
that work. That definitely shows through, especially for like an interview. Like you said, somebody will go and look at that, and be like, oh, she's spent time curating
Yeah.
this space, which is really important.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like it in a holistic sense as well. It shows that you obviously have an attention to detail and are pouring in effort into these different levels and different tiers of what streaming is as a whole. Like I know there's some really big streamers or people who are popping off who like don't give a damn about their aesthetics, and they just do whatever they want and they don't have like a proper layout and like whatever. But I don't know. For me, I never want to go into a project, especially something that's so heavily visual and not hash out every detail. Like me cleaning my room, it's really bugging me that you can see the clothes I've hung behind my door through the mirror. I'm like, should I just go take that shit down? But
Oh
like,
my god.
like, but that's just who I am as a person. Like, I'm glad Sierra is with me as well. I remember um, one of my friends who's a photographer, we were like at the bar and he's like, Maureen, you're always like touching your hair and touching your clothes and like adjusting everything as if you know people are looking at you. And I'm like, I think they are though. Everyone's looking. And it's
Literally,
not out of like a place of, I don't know, like being conceited or the ego, but I'm like, what if someone looks at me and then like my hair looks weird and that's how they're gonna remember me? Like, oh my god, no.
oh,
Like the fear. The fear.
that's yeah, no, I do and I don't feel that. Like it's not so much what other people think, it's what I think of myself. Like
Yeah.
I have that it's subconscious. I don't fully like 100%. Doesn't matter if somebody cares what I look like or if like my like I just adjusted my necklace because I have that little knot how it's connected. So I'll feel it. I'll
Yeah.
feel it on my
Yeah,
neck.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say, oh, mine is back here.
And
It's
it's
always gonna be
like
like,
but yeah, it just makes me feel better. So I can appreciate that. Yes, everybody, please make your panels look nice. Even if it's just a few, it
yes.
definitely helps. Even though nobody looks at them. The whole thing now is didn't you hear panels are canceled?
Oh my gosh. But it's like, okay, especially if you're going to be including, I put out these TikToks about how you can incorporate your stream into your resume. If you're going to be putting that stuff on your resume, I just put out another TikTok, but I ended it with like, back up your claims with examples from your actual accounts. So if you say you have graphic design experience, if you say you can do content creation and you're like making it seem like you have a certain level of standard and you have no panels, there's no information out on you, you don't have like a cohesive look to your Instagram or you don't have the numbers to back it up, there's no stats, there's nothing, then you're just padding your resume and have nothing to show for it.
Do you have a media kit? Did you ever put together a media kit or anything like that, or just a basic like resume?
I have a basic one. I have never like had to send it out because I'm like still really self-conscious about it. But
That's
yeah.
that's how I feel because like I want to work with obviously different companies in this realm or like Streamlabs or some shit, and I want to have
Mhm.
my basic resume, which has like no. I've worked in labor, so like the jobs I'm going out for, they're like you need at least 2 years experience being on the internet. It's like I've been on the internet since I was born. I came out like the Matrix. There was just a plug in the back of my neck. And I was like, I know kung fu. Like I've been on the internet. I think I have experience on the
Yeah.
internet, but
Yeah.
I
Also for jobs like that, just always apply. Always apply. Unless it's something like you need 10 years and like blah blah blah. If it's like 5 years and below, just still apply. Because they put that as their ideal candidate, but they will still interview you even if you don't have that experience.
no,
Like just do it.
this is the pep talk I needed. This is
Yeah. Just do
um
it.
but yeah, no, I'm still it's I haven't really once again, I'm comparing myself, which I know we shouldn't do, as I look at other creators with even a little bit higher numbers and I go, why
Mm.
would my numbers matter? Why would my media kit stand out? I've never worked with any other companies. My statistics look like any other schmo that's, garnered a decent audience. Like I feel self-conscious. Not that is this imposter syndrome?
Yeah. No, but it's part of it is like know your worth or like don't devalue the work that you put in. And that's something that I've really struggled with personally. Like as a woman of color in this space and just like in the other industries that I've worked in, it's like you really do have to kind of stand your ground and own up to who you are and the decisions you're making. I'm a very indecisive person because she's a Libra, but
Unbelievable.
it's just ask Neon about like me trying to pick what we're gonna eat. It's like it's a whole event. But yeah, that's something that I'm even working towards like to this day is just being more assertive in my decisions and like not, not scared to like chase after the things that I want or the stand my ground on the things that I firmly believe in. So
Sorry, Niana. Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
I want to boo that. Can I hold on? I'm gonna get a boo in here real quick. Where's my boo button? There we go. Boo. Anyway, sorry. Completely off track. Yeah, no, I think it's very important. I loved what you said earlier about how streaming Like it would go beyond streaming. Like I asked Strider, like, how long are we going to stream? How long do you
Mhm.
think you can keep up streaming? In theory, if you're a bigger creator, you could just keep going. But like, do you want to? I love how Ludwig has a 5-year plan. Like,
Yeah.
Do you plan on streaming for forever, or do you think you'll have your limits? Do you think there'll be days where you just do one every month? Like,
Yeah. I definitely think I have my limits. I'm not, I don't know, I haven't really like thought about it that far in advance, but I always figured that like every other passion of my life, and anyone's life, period, it comes and goes in waves. Like your passion for your job, your passion for a hobby, life gets in the way. That's just how it is. Everything in life has its peaks and has its lows, and I expect that of streaming as well. Like Nina and I have talked about wanting to move to, if not a different country, then like to Vancouver, which is a different province than we are in right now. Um, who knows, if we do that, I might, like, the move might take everything out of me and I might not have time, or if I relocate and get a new job, that might be too much for me, or maybe I will be out of work in like 6 months and then I'll have to like be like move into streaming some more. Like it's just the flow of life.
yeah,
It's just the
it's
flow of life.
the kicker with building the streaming thing is the one of the main parts that people try and do is building a community. Are you
Mm-hmm.
worried about? I know I would be like all the fucking cool people I've met. The community you've built kind of. And this sounds like sad. Like you're leaving them behind. Like you've built this group of people. It's kind of just like, okay, everybody, good luck. And then it's just this like group of people in a small western town. And they're just like, where do you go? And it's just like, I've built this, and I have to live.
Yeah, now try, yeah.
Just like off
um
into the distance.
it's so sad. Just fade out into
Yeah,
the black. End of movie. Roll credits. Like we're done here.
but yeah,
um
are you afraid of that, or have you? I think of that constantly now. Now that I've built this, but
I mean, I do think about that, on a smaller scale though. I feel really guilty if I'm not giving people like my Discord enough attention, and I will go in every once in a while. I'll be like, I'm so sorry guys, like I'm just still trying to catch up on my schedule at work. But I will be like hopefully back to like posting more like content and stuff in here and engaging more, like next week or something. And everyone's been really really understanding, and I think that that is what I'm like really grateful for, in terms of that scenario with the people who, I've been able to connect with, is that we all kind of understand we have lives outside of Twitch, and that takes precedence over whatever we do here. We obviously still want to play together and hang out and have these chats, but we have someone in our community who just bought a house, and we have people who are like getting married, or like just like life, life. Unfortunately, this is not the Matrix, and we can't just like plug in and stay here forever.
it's so nice. It's so,
Yeah.
the shitty thing is that I'm investing so much time into this. It would feel, and I know this isn't not to say I've wasted my time, but it's like that it takes a mentality. You go, I put everything into this. I'm happy what I did, but it's time to step away. And I think that's hard for
Mhm.
a ton of people, especially if you have that kick because it's so hard to build those Discord communities. It is
Yeah.
so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And the idea of stepping away from it, I know for a fact for some people is like, I'm gonna ride this train until people like are just
Yeah.
gone. I just
Yeah. I've
still
had that
so hard.
experience, outside of Twitch. So to go back to my cheerleading experience, because I talk
Oh
about
yeah,
it a lot.
yeah,
But
no,
when I joined my, university's cheerleading team my first year of university, and then in my like second or third year, our coach at the time left, so I took up coaching my team without any prior coaching experience because I did not want it to die. Like cheerleading brought me out of my shell, completely changed my life, and I was like, you know what? I don't have the credentials to coach, but I can find someone to do it, and I can do the admin work because I was like working as a receptionist at the time, and I was like, it's not hard, it's just paperwork, whatever. So I had been like a cheerleading coach for like, I don't even know. So like since like 2014 or something, like 8 years, ridiculous. But it got to the point also at that time. So I was coaching my university's cheerleading team. I was coaching my high school's cheerleading team. And then I was working full time in the cheerleading industry. So I would wake up in the morning at like 5:30, get ready, go to my old high school for cheerleading practice.
yeah.
8 o'clock, drive downtown Toronto to do my full-time job 9 to 5, and then have time to eat, then drive to the university and coach from like 7 to 11 p.m. And that was my day for a year. from sunrise to well past sundown, I was doing cheerleading every single day. And it was my passion and I
Yeah.
loved it. But I hit a wall and I couldn't deal with it mentally. I would come home from work crying. I like
Ooh.
had mental breakdowns because like customers, I was an account manager and people would just be like so angry at us for like their order being one day late, even though we never gave them like a definite like due date, or just people throwing fits. And it was just so much, and it turned something that I love into something that I dreaded. So I actually, just before the COVID pandemic, me and my friend were coaching our university's team and we were trying to decide whether or not we wanted to go to like nationals. um, and we're like, we lost a lot of members because like moving into the second semester, a lot of people can't keep up with the team because of their schedules.
Yeah.
Obviously the pandemic was like kind of starting up, so we were unsure about that. And we decided to just cut our losses because her and I were also just so mentally drained, so tired. She like works in talent acquisition for a really big tech company, was super busy. Same thing with me at the time. I was working for like an author and just like kind of in that industry. So it was just like so much. And we're like, you know what? We've poured in so much time and effort, and we hate to see this program like shut down, but like it just can't be done. It's not worth it at this point. It's If we keep it going, it's to the detriment of us, everyone. We're losing money. We're like, who knows? We ended the program, and then literally like the week after, they're like, COVID shut down, everything's closed. We're like, thank God. Like it was meant to be. The universe didn't want us to go.
Well,
The universe didn't want us to go.
at what cost?
Mm. So yeah,
No,
I always think about that experience when I think about like what my thresholds are for streaming, like what my boundaries are for the people in my community, what my boundaries are for myself in terms of how much time I'm allotting to it. If I feel any sort of emotion similar to what I used to feel when I had that sense of dread working in the cheerleading industry, I'm just like, I need a break. I'm just gonna peace out for a little bit because I know I kind of have a sense of like what my triggers are in that respect.
but you have to go through those things. I think that it's super
Yes.
important that that happens because I try and translate that to say maybe a younger streamer who just get anywhere from what's the youngest you can start streaming? 13, I think.
I
Uh,
mean, I think yeah, you have technically you need to be like 13 to have an account, or
yeah.
14, isn't it? I don't know.
We're gonna say 18 just for sure. You have to be 18 to stream.
Yeah,
But even
yeah,
so, if you're 18 and you get into streaming, like you're of at least in the US, I don't know what the world because I'm an idiot. At 18, you're an adult. Like you're an adult when you're 18 and you can start going to like you should be focusing on college or going to work, etc., etc. So if you get into
yeah,
streaming, but the problem is when I was 18, I didn't go through anything. Well, that's not true. I went through a lot of shit when me personally, but like an experience like that definitely helps with something like streaming because once again,
hmm
it's inherently easy, but it can get very business like and overwhelming. And you can, the big
yeah,
thing that you said was something that was fun turns into something that you hate. And
yeah,
you see that constantly with streaming because
yes,
people get caught up in the numbers, people get caught up in comparing other creators, and it's just
yeah,
finding that balance is so hard. And I'm having that struggle.
yeah, exactly. But to your point, like I'm glad you mentioned it. It's almost like you have to experience it for yourself to fully understand what it's like, because obviously on the like for individuals it is very subjective. So you don't know what your limits are until you reach them.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that experience that I've had, because now I know in any of my personal projects or in my work environment, I know if I'm feeling a certain way, then I need to just trust my gut and kind of remove myself from the situation or take a little break.
And back all that. And that's a nice part about being on the internet for so long too. Is though, once again, I've learned a lot just being on Twitch Talk, but it's still blown away. Who was I talking to? I was talking to Knocked Wolf, and I asked him what he felt about everything going on with Twitch Talk right now, or like Twitch in
Hmm.
general. And then John asked us like, "What do you think of the state of Twitch?" And Knock said, "It's whatever. It's not going anywhere. Literally, this happens. This cycle. It's an
Yep.
Ouroboros." Like the same things keep coming up every year, year after year. The call out thing that's happening on Twitch Talk right now apparently happened on Twitter a year or two ago.
It just
Like
jumped platforms.
it's just jumping platforms, and I think that comes with the experience. Like if you've been
Yeah.
around and you see with those creators, like Noct, for example, doesn't I don't think he
Mhm.
does any call outs, right? I don't think I've ever seen him really do like a call out thing. He's just on streamer
Yeah, I
tips
don't
and
think
and gameplay. But it's buckling down and doing your thing and having the experience to know that. And that's why I'm kind
Yeah.
of glad that I mostly know like my audience I would say is pretty adult. There's no children here, right? No. What do you have? Do you know what your audience is like? Do you have a younger audience when you stream?
I have a mix. I have a mix. So my niece is very involved with my stream.
That's
She
right.
is a child, and she does, she is a
She
child.
is a
She does
child.
bring some of her friends in with her,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it just so happens that a lot of like really sick Valorant players are children. It's so weird. So I let them carry me, which is why I do try to keep my stream like PG. But also I'm very cognizant of the fact that like I am an adult. What I say does have a sway to them. I'm always once in a while I'm like, guys, like take advantage of high school because your life after is never
Oh,
as good. And they're like, I'm scared. I'm like, you should be. Like, no, I like freaking them out sometimes. But no,
Jesus.
like it's a mix. It's
The,
a
also, everybody, yeah, I know. Old joke. I'm a child mentally. I know. Same. Come on, guys. I
we all
know.
are. We were promised the what is it? The 5-bedroom house with a picket fence, two and a half kids, married by this age. What do I have? Like I don't even know.
Did I
Barely any savings, student debt, living with my parents still. Like what?
listen?
What?
I
Where's my house and picket fence?
don't know if I want to get into that. Yeah, it's funny how I saw a not as, like someone said this. I don't know if it was an article or a tweet. The fact that are we glorifying being like tiny home owners just because like that's all we can afford? Like, have we been pushed into this mentality of less is more just because of the nature of society? Wow, who am I, the fucking Joker? Like, is the reason why we less is more sometimes is because that's all we can afford? You
Yeah,
know, like the
I feel like you've hit something on the nail there. It's like we're trying I don't know, make ourselves feel better, like soothe ourselves, be like, oh, but like look how beautiful I can make this tiny home, isn't it great? And it's only 20 grand. Like you don't have to buy like a $1.5 million house. Look, and you can just drive around. It's so good.
it's just like I don't need anything, even
Yeah.
food. Sometimes I just photosynthesize because I have solar panels.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't you like cup ramen? It's so delicious. Look how many ways you can cook it. Like
and I think that plays into this comment got me. I was in one of Kadea's streams, and she said it's so weird how we have to monetize our hobbies now, or feel like
yes,
we have to
yes,
monetize our hobbies, and
yes.
that sent me. I was like, holy shit, that's what streaming is. You're
Yeah.
monetizing playing games. That's why I don't like to play games on stream really much anymore, unless it's multiplayer. The idea that I'd sit here, and not to take away from sharing the experience of like The Last of Us 2 or a game like that
Mhm.
with other people, but why do I feel like I have to make money off of that? Why do I feel
Yeah.
like I have to make money off of playing a game with others, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I saw this TikTok. This would have been like very, very early on when I was on the platform. It was someone talking about just that. It's like, why are we putting such an emphasis on making money off of the things that we love? Like, we can exist in a world where like work and that level of capitalism is separate from our passions and the things that bring us joy. We don't have to monetize every single thing we do. We are brainwashed to do so because that generates more money for our society. And it's that kind of like grind mentality, which I hate that word. I was literally just talking to Neon about it last night. I was just like, yeah, but yeah,
Is that on the big? Oh, we already got it. Cool. We are. I was gonna say, is that on the bingo sheet? Yeah. Okay. Go on.
um, but yeah, it's and after going through that experience with cheerleading, that's definitely a stance that I hold because it's like I literally destroyed something that I loved so much, and like I obviously still have that passion there, but I needed to take a break. Like I stopped coaching. I was actually let go from that job because they restructured the company, but it was a blessing in disguise because after that, I like did 3 weeks traveling around Europe. I came back, was able to get like a position working for like a really popular author. Just was able to move on and find like new and awesome things to do.
Yeah. It's cuckoo bananas. Like I said, that Doc said it's because we're all broke, and maybe not. I mean, I am kind of broke, but
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I mean, for most of it. Also, real quick, Hooded Sun, thank you for the raid. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. We're talking to Catthemau. Um, But yeah, it's like when I got into streaming, I don't remember why I got into streaming. Why did I start streaming?
Oh no, no.
I still have to ask myself this because I totally forget why I got into streaming. Holy shit. It was fun. I had a big, like, I had a big boy job. So I had money. So I bought this overpowered PC and then I was bored, I guess. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll stream. But when I got into it, I fell into the communities as it were, and we got into this whole support scheme. So it's just like it
Mhm.
feels good because we feel successful. We're gonna make it. We can all build
Yeah.
each other up so that we become successful streamers. And the idea of playing video games for a career is just this amazing thing. It fell into that monetizing the hobby for whatever reason subconsciously, but like the fact is that's why I took the affiliate way. Like I said, I still accept
Mhm.
subs and Patreon and whatnot, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing this because it's a creative outlet, because
Yes.
I can build something. And I think that's really hard for people to do. Once again, because of Joker reasons, the society we live in is we if we could, it's kind of like the Etsy theory. If you have a hobby, you can just throw it up on Etsy. If you
Etsy and make money off it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you just make like little metal earrings and stuff, you could just sell it on Etsy. A little cash is always nice, right?
Oh man. But
Affords
that's where it becomes
Starbucks.
like a slippery slope because it's like it's very hard to distinguish where that line lays between like something you do for fun and then you're like, thanks writing on this, take my soul, make me famous. Like
Yeah, well, Duck says I started streaming more seriously because I was told I had a nice voice, which okay, that's if there's any reason to I've been told that too, but I still think I'm a Halo squeak kid. So here I am a year later with a little extra income. And I think that's the way to think about it is if
yeah.
you can have that nice little side hustle, I guess that's cool, but
Yeah.
it gets muddy so quick.
Yeah, exactly. I That was the thing too when I started coaching cheerleading. It was just I wasn't doing it for money. I The first like 2 years I coached, I didn't accept any money. This is like something that I was just doing because cheerleading meant so much to me, and I knew that I could have that kind of impact on other people too. I knew it was a very important program for a lot of women. Um, so I just did it. Like it was like my volunteer, and I was pouring like hours into it for nothing. But yeah, streaming is kind of like I went into it with no expectations. The same thing with streaming. It's like I have like a sub goal on my stream, but I don't put an emphasis on being like, hey guys, like look at my sub goal. Are we gonna make it today? Like this bit. Like I had a couple other like goals on my thing, and I just took it down because it was like now that I'm working full time, the money is not a particular drive for me. It's more so like I want to connect with like-minded people and hang out because this is the only way I can really like I don't talk to my IRL friends like that much anymore.
It's funny
Many years.
so the sub goal thing. Like obviously I finally after a couple months I put my sub goal. It was for editing, now it's for rent and not the musical because your boy's jobless. But like I sub goals are weird because I think it definitely helps. Like right now,
Yeah.
anybody who supports me, you're fucking supporting me. But it was what I was talking with Nubbins. It's just like when do you become an e-beggar? Which holy crap, that
Mm,
term is fantastic because I never thought of the term
e-beggar.
e-beggar. But how do you feel about sub goals? Like you said, you have one, but if me personally, I feel like you have to at least be honest and say this is for bills. Like this is to pay
Yeah.
the electric bill.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel about sub goals on screen?
I
Screen.
I feel like they're fine, as long as you are kind of like transparent with what they're going to. Like I know I don't have it on my screen, but in my panels, it's like any money that's brought in just goes back to like what I'm doing here. It's like I would just I went full in and I was like, I'm just gonna buy everything that I want. I'm not even gonna like buy the cheaper version and like hopefully and like I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy the nice camera and whatever because that's just who I am as a person. If I set my mind to something, I'm like, I need to go full out right now. So I'm
Same.
like, my goal is just like to hopefully break even on what I spent on on my equipment, and then like maybe do like a couple upgrades and buy things like my little star projector and like make things nice for people. But
I mean, legitimately same. Upgrading. I mean, like I said, I pretty much have all the equipment. I guess eventually I could get a DSLR or like a DSLR, whatever the DSLR DL.
Mhm.
Is that right? I could get like an actual camera instead of my phone, but this is fine. But every time I get a little bit of income, I'm just like, oh, groceries. Groceries
Groceries,
are nice.
food, yes,
Food is good.
sustenance, need that.
I would say when your focus is on money, every stream. Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're a full-time streamer, that's on the bingo board. I think we already did. The fact is, like, it kind of, I don't want to say it has to be money, but if that's your job, if that's your full-time income, it's kind of about that. It's about being entertaining, creating a space, and then also a call to action, for lack of a better term,
Hmm.
call to action, the fact that you need people. It turns into charity though. Oh, that's so tricky. I have to talk about
But that's where it's like your stream should have enough value in it that people want to support you. Also, Fairy Berry, buy a dummy battery. That's what I use. It's literally goes into your camera and then it's wired and you can just like plug it into your outlet.
Oh, yeah.
This
Then it goes
battery.
through. There you go. Cosplay got it. Dummy battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like part of me, because that's what John does. Like John's doing the subathon, obviously, but it goes. He's 100% transparent. He's like, this is my job. This pays my bills. This feeds my kids. But then I was like, well, what if you were a single dude and you were just like, all of your subs go to just so I can pay my car. Like it's all like. I feel like it turns muddy in a way because once again, streaming should be fun, and I feel like even with the tipping, it should be fun. Which Twitch does a
Mhm.
great job with hype trains, bits, all that good stuff, alerts.
Yeah.
But
But that's why like people will do things for their subs. I remember like a couple months ago, especially around Christmas, I was seeing it with some people. They would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna write your name on an ornament and put it on the tree. I'll send you like a letter or like a sticker that I made." Like you are giving them value past like their the
ooh,
kindness of their hearts and supporting you. Like it's something small, but it's showing that like, hey, I really appreciate it and like thank you. Like just
that's
like thank you.
that providing value is super
Yeah.
tricky though, because like I said, with the Patreon, I still feel like I'm not providing. Like I have to feel like I have to post a video every day or have more perks, but that's big. Do you? Hmm, I don't. Am I valuable, you guys? That's another one
Yeah.
getting in your own head. Do you provide enough value for the people? Have you felt like you've done that when people sub to you, or are you just kind of you live
Oh
in
my god,
your?
I struggle with that all the time, especially for like we have like a sub channel in our Discord, and once in a while, if I remember, I'll post like little assets that I made in there for people to use. I don't think anyone's ever used them, but I post them in there. And I was like, the other night, I was talking to Nia, and I was like, should I ask people what they want us to do? Like maybe I can do like one-on-one calls with people or whatever. And like I still kind of want to do that, but then Nian was like, "Is that how you want to dedicate all of your time? Because like you're already short on free time. Like you are kind of behind on your social media scheduling. You're like you haven't clipped your VODs in like a week." I'm like, "It's so true.
Same.
What do I do?" And he was kind of like, "You know what? People are supporting you because they just see value in what you're doing already. It's an added bonus that you are like going out of your way to like create assets and like if you do want to talk to them on Discord or provide them advice, like that's an added bonus. But what you're doing already is enough for people to be like, you're awesome. Here." Like you just have to kind of like get over yourself and be like, thank you. Like
That's
I
it's just
accept.
the basically like appreciate those who do, but the kicker one, the giving your time is very like what's your time worth? That's a big
Hmm.
topic once you
Yes.
start garnering an audience or a community or friends that want to like what are you worth? Say even down to an editor like Night
Hmm.
Owl made a couple edits for me just off the cuff, and I was like, holy shit, these are amazing. You like even small things bumped it up. Like please, what do I have to do to hire? He's like, dude, you couldn't afford me because he's been doing it for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. He knows his worth. He's like, I think, Night Owl, I'm
Yeah.
going to put you on the spot. I was like 150 pounds because he's in the UK
Pounds.
a day,
Wow.
a day. And
Yes.
that's just depending on like what he does.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is your time worth? And then also as far as when you talk about working with other streamers in particular, maybe it's just like that falls into, am I going to be reviewing your stream? Like, am I a stream reviewer?
Yeah. I remember actually just like in the general work sense. I remember having this conversation with Neon because as a woman of color, we are just generally paid less than everyone else, and I have a lot of like close friends who are that I really look up to, just women who have like worked like their way up into like the industries that they're currently in and have made reputations for themselves and now have beautiful condos and like have their life set up. And I'm like, not that I want that, but it's like I want to feel accomplished like that. And when I was job hunting, I was like, I'm not settling for anything lower than this salary. And Neon was like, but like, I'm like, you don't get it. As a man, you don't get it. Like, I have to fight for every single penny, and I'm doing myself a disservice if I don't like try to negotiate. And like, I'm super glad that I did, because this current position, I was able to like get a little bit more than I was initially
Fuck yeah.
presented with, and I'm like so happy. But like, yeah, definitely like figuring out what you're worth, and that definitely comes with like time and experience. But just the overall lesson is just like, don't try to undervalue like your skills and the things that you've worked towards. Like
The
yeah,
the other end of that though is what, and once again, we mentioned it before, is when should you put up the walls though? Because right now I want to be as available as possible for people who like, I want to garner those relationships and help people, because it makes it, helping people makes you feel good. Like
yeah,
passively helping streamers, not, no slight on the people whose whole shtick is actually, not that I'm not trying to help streamers. I'm digging my own hole here. I'm just trying
stop talking, stop
to stop
talking.
talking. I like helping streamers. It's not my fucking job. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I will passively do it. I will not charge people for it. But if enough people start coming to me, like they kind of did with One Hit Wonder, he mentioned he would gladly stream review people when that was a big thing. Everybody was doing it, and then people flooded. That was the TikTok I just posted. It's just like people came to him, and he had to block off his DMs. He had to start putting
Yeah,
up these walls, and it's just, I kind of want to be available in that. I don't want to. There was a whole end of charging people, having certain people you pay more attention to because they give you money, and that's shitty. That seems shitty, but it's, you kind of have to do it, right?
yeah, because then you're think okay, this is where I think people get confused with what you're like like when they think about like what you're thinking about is you're still thinking of streaming as like this hobby.
Yeah.
But if you're monetizing anything, that's a job. Would you just do overtime work for no pay? Are you that kind of person, just giving your hours away?
I
And how is that going to affect the rest of your life? Are you giving your hours away and then you're not spending time with your family, and then your dogs are not fed, and then your house is falling apart?
okay.
Like that, that
Okay, if I'm being honest, I kind of do overtime for this streaming thing. So yeah, I'm completely in that fucking boat.
yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, sometimes you do need to do that. Like you you see it sometimes, and when you're trying to like climb up the ladder at work, you gotta put in the hours, gotta put in the time
It's
to like
that volunteering
move
part.
up.
Yeah, it's
But
you love it so much, so you kind of volunteer your free time. But
exactly,
then
but you will hit a wall with that. It's just recognizing where that wall is for you.
yeah,
And
it's
Stable, hello.
a looky. What's up, Unsable? You know.
How are
But yeah,
you?
it's that moment. It's like I said, it just sucks because you will also isolate people in that end, because you've built relationships with certain
Yeah,
people, or maybe a small, you've gotten to know someone new, but then all of a sudden you have to put up this wall, because it's like there's people like with Vel, everything
hmm,
was hunky dory, and then as soon as she had partners, she had to immediately put up these walls, even to maybe some people who were close to
yeah,
her. I didn't even, I think I asked her that. It's a long day, everybody. Give me a full size break of a Kit Kat bar at this point. But like it's just shitty. I feel bad because like I said, I've had to start doing that, and it's part of growing your brand and making it a business. But
yeah. I totally feel that, because I would honestly feel the same way, and I do feel that way when I have to kind of like stand my ground on my boundaries in terms of like my time or the type of game I'm gonna play, or like even just like on a smaller level when people like say things in chat and I'm like, that doesn't sound like, no, I'm just gonna, let's just stop. There's boundaries, and we're not doing that here. But like, yeah, it really is individual and learning what that is for you. Because in any kind of endeavor in life, when you start taking something seriously, there's always going to be that threshold that you cross, and you're like, okay, now things have changed. Now I'm going to take this seriously. Now I got to start actually thinking about what I need to do long term to make this sustainable. That's the thing. It's like the way you're going at it now. Think, what if like 500 more people join your Discord and you're still going at it the way you are now? Can you still do that? That's not sustainable for you.
oh,
And you're going to burn out quick. It might be a bright burnout, but you're going to burn out. Wouldn't you rather like simmer down a little bit, but then have the longevity?
yeah, that gives me so much shit. That just gave me like all of the anxiety. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's legit something I have to think about, because like I said, things have, for the
Yeah.
longest time, it was like the Discord. It once again, Discord takes so long to really. I don't think I've figured Discord out, but it's just it's making it your second home, but the idea that people are actually spending time in there, my general chat has been popping off, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
this is crazy. I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed because I'm overwhelmed, but I never thought, like, it was in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool if things started to go. And now that I'm here, now that there's a little bit of action, I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, ah.
at any moment, not that I want to quit, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. Unless I get full fucking canceled for whatever dumb shit I might say. But uh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can
You,
empathize with that anxiety, but also at the same time, it's like you have people in your community who are understanding, and I would hope most people who can empathize with that, would be on your side and would support you in that decision, because anyone who's able to critically think would and put themselves in your shoes would know, like, okay, if I was in this situation, I would just, my mind would like probably melt. So obviously I'm not going to bombard him with messages or like ask him where he is all the times of the day. Some people just don't have that retrospective ability, but you would hope that the majority of people do, and the people that do are the people that you really want in your community and will be the people to support you in the long term.
what about? So we're talking about the people, but did we have the discussion about when? I know I talked with the others about when people become fans. There's that disconnect where you kind of have to start removing, like,
Yeah.
not removing is the wrong, like removing people from your life. No, but started making that click. I don't even know.
I haven't really had that happen
Yeah,
to me. Maybe to a lesser degree with someone who is like quite a bit younger. But they were kind of like, "Oh, can I take that clip of you singing and like make a video of you, or like can you do this for me and this and this and this?" And I was kind of like, I remember they had said something in my chat, and I was like, "Listen, I am a full-grown adult. I know it doesn't seem like it because she's looking young and fresh, but I'm a full-grown adult with a full-grown job. I got responsibilities. I can't do this for you. This is what I can do, but yeah,
yeah,
like there you go. I'm sorry, but not sorry, because here you go." Like,
yeah. There was, like I mentioned it before. There was
so young and fresh, Pisces.
so as I was sorry. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at. Also, chat. If you have anything you want to ask or wanna, I have been ignoring you. I've been ignoring chat like an asshole. So young and fresh. Um, Completely lost my train of thought. My caffeine is wearing the frick off. Yikes,
Inject it
yikers.
straight into your veins. Let's go.
Because I definitely didn't go to the gym, but I definitely I had a
Did you
pre-workout.
make pre-workout? Oh god.
I have my
I mean, I can't talk. I literally have like the the witch version. I'm like, here's my tonic that I put into my water.
tonic.
Yeah, it's a dopamine and stress relief tonic. It's literally like just like ingredients in like this little oil, and you like drop it into water and like
I feel like my room has your energy, but like me as a person, I'm a fucking bro. Like I'm over here with like a similar vibe in a certain sense, but then all of a sudden I'm just like, yeah, I just got my protein shake.
me here. I'm like mixing little. I was literally talking to Erin. I'm like, Erin, I got some supplements and some tonics. I'm so excited. I'm hoping it'll help me with my sleep and my energy. Like,
I do have a Pinterest background. Unstable. As have you asked Kat how she is finding
ooh.
balance with streaming and her new job? And her new job is. I read that wrong. You know what I was trying to say. English. I got here late. That was one of the first things I asked. But
Yeah.
you've you found a balance though, right? Like
Yes.
you're happy with your schedule with streaming, and then the full. Is your new job? Are you enjoying it? I guess is the question I should ask.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, I am a digital growth hacker for a mobile game publishing studio that's like actually quite big.
A
Um,
hacker?
a
Excuse
hacker.
me?
Basically, my role is to like manage her social media accounts, but also find ways to go viral specifically and organically. So I spend a lot of time playing mobile games, scrolling through TikTok, and just looking at gameplay and seeing how I can twist trends to like make us blow up. Um,
Did you say blow up?
blow up.
Are you
Like,
blowing up
blow up.
streamers, Cat?
Oh god. But yeah, that's my role, and I'm honestly loving it so far. Working remotely has been a little challenging because I'm like in that kind of rut, staying at home. But it's I'm very fortunate for for the opportunities that I've been given. It's extremely interesting. The team that I'm working with, they're all like marketing and growth minded, and they come from those backgrounds. So seeing how they go about creating ads and things like that is just so eye opening. Actually, I was talking to Neon about this, and it's so interesting because like in kind of that marketing sphere, what they do is just a shit ton of A/B testing. They will just put out a shit ton of ads and will like change minor things about each of every single one. They will just throw everything out onto the wall, and whatever kind of sticks, they'll take that and they'll do it again. And I'm like, that's literally content creation. That's literally TikTok. Just put out as much. It's literally quantity over quality until you can figure out what the qualities are, and then you can start mixing it in with the quantity. And like, I'm like that's if you don't know what your niche is, just do it all and then see which one sticks a little bit more.
Before you got there, did they know that that's like the TikTok meta? Like that's the growth strategy on like not
yeah they so that was their techniques just for marketing.
Okay.
And picking that up from them, because I sit in all of their meetings, their creative like briefs and stuff. I sit into all of them because I can just like pick through their knowledge and whatever. I also don't have a marketing background, so this is like really helpful for me. But seeing those parallels on TikTok, I'm like, this is exactly what it is. It's just like doing as much as you can, putting it out there, seeing what does well, and then doing that over and over and over again.
Like that, I mean, it's exactly it. And then, well, my other end of that is quality comes with quantity, because if you just keep doing it, you'll
get better at it.
Get better and better, and then you can fine tune. And then on top of that, you'll find what works, and then you can fine tune even more. You can dial in. It's just once again, it's the time thing. It's the persistence. It's the endurance of still posting and posting. With TikTok, I feel like algorithm changes so much. That is the weird beast with TikTok. I mean, right now, I'm literally seeing posts that I've already liked from a month ago. Like it's kind of like
it's resurfacing old content right now. But the thing with like any algorithm on any website, it's not driven by like likes or comments specifically. It's you know, you probably heard this. It's similar to YouTube. It's driven by watch time.
Yeah.
So like, you have to like obviously like doing all the things, the best practices for TikToks, like having that hook in the beginning, adding movement, bright colors, captions, things for people to stay on their app. Everything is, just look at it, like everything is driven by money. Like, how is your video going to bring not your audience value, TikTok value in making people stay on the app? Like, are you redirecting people to your other videos so then they go watch those and then they get like hit with 3 more ads along the way? Like, are they staying in your ecosystem? Like, what?
I think the beauty of when TikTok first came around was that they were still building their platform. They were still trying to just get people to use the app. And there was that bubble when the pandemic happened, and then with streaming on top of it, you just add to that subset of TikTok. And then that's why there was that explosive growth for a lot of people. They were very giving, I think, with views and pushing things out, and that's fantastic for someone with a small business per se, like streaming or really anything else. That's wonderful. But now they're getting to the point, I'm definitely seeing a lot more ads. I remember when I first got to TikTok, I didn't see any ads, like none. I mean, that's why what Vine went out of business was because they couldn't really put ads on Vines because it was 6 seconds.
So Vine was acquired by Twitter, and Vine refused to like sell out to companies for ads. That's why they went under.
Hold on, I did also see. Well, they started with Musical.ly too, then they turned into Vine.
Also interesting, hot intake about TikTok. They are starting a kind of like creator initiative with the platform, so companies will now be able to reach out directly on the platform to creators to create content for them versus going to agencies. So you're going to see a lot more sponsored content on TikTok
through just
TikTok. Yeah.
Cinnabon, in case you're wondering, I am available. I don't even know. Like with my name, I was told like brands will work with me even though my name's Anime Daddy, right?
I mean, they're anime companies.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
the
It's more so about like the values you hold as a creator. Like, what kind of message are you putting out there?
what's my message?
Yeah.
You go first. What's your message, Kat?
Like light and gratitude, leading life with kindness, and
Making witch potions to make
yeah,
myself feel better. Like, that's such. Oh, that is a very decent question.
yeah.
What's your message as a streamer? I mean, you have. I guess you can do the generic like, oh, I'm a wholesome streamer. Like
Hmm.
there's some streamers that want to bring like family values, or I want. There's this one creator who dresses up like Captain Jack Sparrow. I had to say the whole name for some reason. Ravenclaw. I don't know if you've seen this guy. He just got a partner recently. He dresses up like Captain Jack, and
Love it.
like his whole thing is family oriented. You know, it's Pirates of the Caribbean,
Yeah.
fun, get involved with the stream sort of stuff. But like his message is, you come to my stream and you have a good time, and your kids can watch. But what is it for a dude just kind of playing Call of Duty, but he has this giant cult like behavior where everyone's just playing custom games and stuff?
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like what, at least for me, that was always something I kept in mind because, again, something I mentioned to Neon. I always had this idea that I wanted to be someone who made a difference, not not be famous. I was like, I want to make a difference and have an impact. And that was why I enjoyed cheerleading so much because cheer had such an impact on me and I knew or I hoped that I could deliver that for some other people. And I still remember some girls coming up to me being like, you don't know like how much this program has helped me and like thank you so much for like believing in me and putting me in this role. Like can I use you as a reference for work? Can I, you know, like what have you. Anyways, I'm losing words.
No,
Um,
it's fine. That's
but like that, when I went into streaming, I was like, what do I kind of want to do with that platform? Is obviously for a lot of people, you want to create a space where people feel welcome and you know you want to stand for something, but like past that, what is your like what is like your slogan? Like you know?
as general as that. Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
made me think. Like literally, my one of my panels says what I do. It's I want to have conversations that push what streamers talk, like what it takes to grow, what goes behind creating a stream that's successful. Like I want to push those boundaries. I want to
Hmm.
question people's methods and why they think that's the proper way. Because once it was the whole who has the right to give advice on TikToks? Like
Yeah.
who's the one allowed to give the tips? And
Yeah.
it's going to be controversial. And apparently that's almost everybody because you don't know their background. It doesn't matter if they have five. I mean, let's be completely honest. Like that guy was kind of a little bit right. Like if you're a new streamer and you have no background, like should you like maybe the tips you're giving are regurgitated. Oh, it's
Yeah.
tricky. I don't want to. Please don't hate me.
But I get the sentiment though because it's like you at least need to have something to back it up. Like bringing it back to the like putting things on your resume. Like if you're putting on your resume that you have social media management experience, and then your prospective employer goes on your account and you post once in a blue moon, don't reply to your comments, like have no like aesthetic or like you know general look. There's no rhyme or reason to the things you're posting. Like that's not social media management. You're just a person with an Instagram account. Like you gotta show the work, you gotta show the effort. So like even if someone like has just started streaming, if they come from a you know digital marketing background or they have other portfolios in related fields, then I'd be like, yeah, like even though you haven't developed this on this platform yet, I kind of want to take your advice because I can take what you've learned in a different industry and apply it to this.
Yeah.
But obviously it's very individual.
Yeah. I always
Yeah.
correlate it to like you know, you've studied everything about the pyramids. You know everything about, but you've never been there.
Been
Like
yeah.
it's just because someone's never been to the periods, you know.
Yeah.
Vocabulary check to the pyramids doesn't mean like you have no knowledge or you can't give knowledge on it, but it's just tricky because I don't know. It's like I said, there's this weird meta going on Twitch Talk, and I just get worried that once again, there's creators who have told me that they're scared to post shit because of
Oh
saying
my god.
something wrong.
I am scared to post shit. Literally, so once when that whole like thing was blowing up, I saw this trend, the like the freeze frame one.
Yeah.
I saw like the original video and I was like, oh my god, this would be so funny to do to do a twist on like Twitch. So I saved it. So I saved it to my favorites. I drafted the post and then I posted it the next day. But after I posted it, I was scrolling through and I saw two other Twitch talk like people post very similar videos to mine, and they had posted it the day before, and I was like, oh my god, everyone's gonna fucking think I copied their video, but like I didn't even see their videos. I saw the original video and thought the same thing, and like now I'm gonna be canceled. Like, what if someone? I was like so close to taking that video down because I was like, all it takes is like one person to comment and say that I copied their video, and then I'm gonna be like put on blast, and people are gonna hate me, and that's like my worst fear for people to dislike me.
Like the only thing you can semi rely on with that is the fact that you've been around. Like you have a presence on the app, so people will be like, like it's you see it and you scroll through it because literally all of TikTok is just trends. But that right there, even you, and we fucking know you, Kat. And even though like you have a great presence. That's all I'm saying. You don't have 10,000 followers. I don't even know if followers matter anymore on TikTok at this point. Everybody somehow fucking knows my name, but nobody follows me. You schmucks. Why does nobody follow me on TikTok? And so aggressive. And
you're not hot enough. I'm kidding. You gotta thirst trap a little bit more.
Apparently, I need to show more skin because I'm not attractive enough for the follow. But no, it's fucking exactly that. There's now, because the callouts are so relevant, there becomes this mindset of, oh shit, am I plagiar? Obviously, there is full, like that one dude was legit plagiarizing. Like,
yeah,
hands
for sure.
down. But that's the nature of the app, unfortunately, is you're going to run into an idea that you think is unique, but there's millions of people on the app now, and you'll come across it and be like, shit, am I going to be the one who people go, oh, I've seen that? Or I guess there's also the mentality of it's demotivating to think that, oh, has this already been done? Because that's with anything. That's why I stopped making music, to be honest, was I was like, what song can I make that's going to transcend fucking, I don't know, any like a fucking Queen's, like Bohemian Rhapsody. How am I gonna beat Bohemian? You know, that was made in the 70s. How am I gonna beat anything fucking Imagine Dragons? I don't know. It's so demotivating. I hate it. And then, like I said, on top of that, with the call out culture that kind of happens, it's just
actually interesting. I was talking to someone yesterday for work who has like a very big following on YouTube. But I think we started talking about people utilizing other people's content. I don't know. We kind of went off on a little tangent. But he was like, it's pretty rampant on YouTube as well. I was like, I don't know about you, but the drama on like Twitch talk is crazy. He's like, I don't use TikTok, but like YouTube, same thing. Like there's always drama with someone stealing someone else's thumbnail or like video content and people calling each other out. And I'm like, glad to know that it's like kind of across industries and platforms. It's not just us. It's just something that we all do as creators.
Like I said,
there's always going to be those people who are vultures for content and stuff like that.
It's kind of the nature of the beast. I know there was another, and this is outside of Twitch talk, but TikTok in general. There was another like bigger creator. I don't know if you've seen it, but he was also completely like ripping off trends and big dances. But
yes,
I forget his name. It was some white dude. I can't remember.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Actually, one of my IRL friends who was like posting sharing his TikToks onto his Instagram story, and I was like, that creator's being like blasted right now for stealing other people's content, and he was like, oh shit, like thanks for telling me. I'm like, yeah, like gotta look out for stuff like that, but it's hard, like especially if you don't know the environment that you're going into, like the platform.
If you don't know the platform, but once again, that's the defense for the call out in the way, is the fact that dude is stealing. So you're just
stable, the mediocre white actor. Yeah, I saw that. Oh god.
But that's where you kind of have that call out culture kind of has to come into play, because if people are legit doing that shit, you kind of, I don't know. It falls once again down to who is left in charge. Like nobody's in charge of this app. Even TikTok I wouldn't even say it's in charge of their own app. People are just, it solves
coming on there and doing whatever they want. They're like, oh shit, this is not what it was intended for, but okay.
Yeah, it's just like this weird self-governing on this. It's just let the kids out to play, and it's so, now that I'm on these apps so much, before I couldn't give two fucks about social media. Like I didn't even like people's pictures. I was just like, why would I give you a heart? Like I was very, I was a jerk. But now that I'm on here, like I said, it feels like it's just a bunch of kids on the playground playing
Yeah, but
castle.
like any content platform, they don't care as long as you're using their platform and staying on their
Yeah,
platform and they can monetize off you. They don't care what you put. Like, we saw it on Facebook to an extreme. Facebook was just like letting people run propaganda and campaigns and all this like, all this crazy shit.
yep.
They
And
didn't care as long as it made them money. Like
yeah, I guess that's
they
true.
only started caring when people like really rallied against it and they
So
were taking a big like PR hit from it.
it's all about the bags.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? I see a couple replies to people. It's always I always feel like I miss something when there's replies in chat. But why some of the best traffic I've had coming over is from non-stream related content. Ooh, that's another thing. Is the fact that like once again my audience is streamers. I'm living with it. I know everybody. My audience is streamers. I get it. But I find a lot of is your audience a lot of streamers or is it off?
I think it's a little bit of a mix. Um, Obviously, most of my audience on TikTok are streamers because that's like kind of the content that I'm putting out. I tried to veer off that a little bit, but like it just unsuccessful for me at the time, so I'm back to it. But I think like on platform, I think I have a pretty decent mix of people who are just like users.
Yeah, like or
But
gamers who come in.
yeah, yeah,
That's something I wouldn't know how to do that because like I said, these conversations beg to be streamers.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
that's what I love seeing when creators make personable content, even through like gaming or just trends
Mhm.
and stuff. And then people will just be like, oh, they also stream. In fact, some of the most successful like those TikToks that you see of first day streaming, I had
Yeah,
30 average viewers because they had built their TikToks off of just them, and then they go, oh, I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch, and then everyone's just like, it's because she's a girl or like
yeah,
something. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I remember actually Neon posted um, a tweet that was basically like talking about how it's BS when guys say like, "Oh, girls are successful on Twitch because like they're girls," and someone replied to him because he shared the story to his Instagram DMs, being like, "Oh, if that's not the reason, then why did this girl like all like just after a week get affiliate and then have 2,000 subs?" Neon goes on this girl's account, goes on her social media. She had like 100,000 followers on Instagram. It's like, of fucking course she's gonna make affiliate right away if she blasts that on her Instagram being like, hey, I'm streaming now. Of course people are gonna go and support her and she's gonna hit those marks really quickly. She was already really big on a different platform. Like,
It's nobody wants to do that click through. I mean, it's hard enough to get somebody to actually who you want to watch your channel to click to your channel.
yeah,
The trolls are definitely not going to click through and do research on why someone has a big following. They're
yeah,
just going to
yeah, yeah,
completely be like, "Oh, this is insane because she's a woman, so she garners on." Which, by the way, who
yeah,
the big thing is who cares? It's not your audience, etc., etc. I think the more and more I hear about dudes getting upset, I guess take the hot tub stream. Like we can talk about. You want
Mhm.
to talk about the hot tub streamers, which is a fantastic at this
Yeah.
point inside
Actually,
joke.
do you still want Neon in on this? Because he has some hot takes on that as
Okay,
well.
yeah, you want to bring on? Yeah, you
Neon,
know,
are you here? Yeah.
you want to get
You
on
there?
this?
I saw him in the comments. I'm like,
Gem, yeah, if you wanna, I have my bingo card up, which I've definitely said collab. Did I say OnlyFans?
I don't think so. I know you said only, but I mean now you said it,
I mean,
so
it doesn't count because I asked. I doesn't count because I asked.
now you said it.
Bring forth another handsome man. Unbelievable.
Don't
Uns
hype him up.
Unstable. I am officially unemployed, so your boy might be starting an OnlyFans. So you might be seeing a hairy butt on the internet. That's all I'm saying. Where is my Discord? Where is my Neon, whenever you want, just jump in the waiting room. I'll put you in. Hashtag only streamers. What's up,
Take-
Slowpoke? But yeah, the whole not to be too blunt, but you gotta get used to that. Get used to what? What'd you say, Micro? Good point. I'm not used to putting myself out there. Yeah, you gotta be all in with streaming. Well, I guess not. You can still be kind of.
I think if you are ill prepared and you don't draw those boundaries up like from the get-go, it's very hard to pull back.
Yes, you can start off with a wall and then
Yeah.
kind of
And then
learn
like
what to
lower
share.
it, it's very hard to do the opposite because then you seem like cold or you seem like it's getting to your head or whatever. So it's very important to have those in place prior to going into something like this.
Yeah, I did not do that. I'm a
Yeah.
complete open book. It is not even funny. It is not funny.
I mean, I totally like to overshare as well, but like I always like keep it in the back of my mind that I am just like broadcasting to essentially strangers on the internet and who know me a lot better than I know them because they see me all the time and I don't even know what most of these people look like. So
That is
like I
very
love
true.
y'all, but like who are you?
Ooh, the parasocial relationship, the disconnect
Yeah.
of the chat and the person. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to do that because obviously there's people behind those numbers, but yeah, also
Yes.
there's people who could be watching you that you don't know. I'm not watching the people in chat, which you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to. Who's in my chat? No. Um but yeah, there someone could always be watching and just that's so weird to I guess it's human nature. They got
Mm-hmm.
that in TV days, like
Yeah,
actors and
yeah,
stuff,
absolutely.
TMZ, all that shit.
Yeah.
What am I saying? I literally lurk everyone's streams. I'm gonna bring in Neon.
You are TMZ now.
I am. I'm literally like Twitch TMZ.
You're the TMZ.
Make that bigger. Make that bigger. I'm gonna change this so that we're in a row. Okay, so Neon, who's your favorite hot tub streamer?
Oh my
I
god.
couldn't tell you.
Unbelievable.
But
It-
no, this what were we talking about, Kat? We were saying like I legitimately I'm like we were talking about how so many guys are like oh yeah, I'm sick of freaking
Seeing all these hot tub
yeah,
streamers on here,
yeah.
but it was like Twitch is not going to show that to you if you're
I
not looking
never
for it
see
because I don't get that
hot
stuff
tub
either.
streamers in my Twitch recommended, which I'm sad about. But it's
Unbelievable.
because it probably has shown me one or two, and because I've not clicked on them, it's not going to keep recommending me them because it wants to keep me on the site, right?
Yeah.
So all these people, I don't know if you talked about this just now. Have you just said the same thing?
No. I was waiting for you to like come on
Yeah.
here.
All these people who are complaining about their Twitch being full of hot tub streamers are people who are watching a ton of hot tub streamers. So it's like
Yeah.
a self-fulfilling prophecy. Stop doing it if you don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's me.
exactly.
I'm giving them all the views. Yeah,
Stop watching that stuff.
I know. Can you say? Yeah, I know. I'm turning them. I'm boosting Neon, so we can't hear it. Neon,
Oh, am I quiet?
you're a little quiet.
I feel like I need a new
Move
mic.
your mic
I know you
closer.
dislike Blue
Yeti.
Well,
Yeti
the
mics.
kicker is you just have to bring it a little bit close. Like I'm all about.
It's all been
Put
fine
it
in the
inside your
past.
mouth.
This is a recent thing, for me. So I think it might be broken.
Unbelievable.
He's just saying that because he wants to justify spending more money on another
I want to get a
mic.
proper XLR mic.
Yeah, Wave 3 all day, baby. What's up, Elgato? Sponsor me. I have to put a media kit together. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always wanted an XLR mic, and it's just the price of getting like a preamp with it as well. But maybe it's time to make that
Well,
hundreds of dollar purchase.
that's the thing is that's another fallacy. We came across a dude who just started streaming, and this isn't to take anything away from him. Is he isn't even affiliated, but went out and bought, obviously, and if he has a job, he's allowed to, blah, blah, blah. But still, hopefully he doesn't think this way. He bought an XLR, he bought a Shure, like all of the highest end stuff. All of the highest end stuff. And it's just like, God, I hope he did that because he wants to and it's his hobby. But if he thinks that's going to help him, like, I know there were some streamers, and I've talked to streamers that just, I can tell they think that this nice shit is going to completely change their stream. It's going to put them ahead of everybody else. And it's like, how do you no? Like some of the biggest streamers, like shit, Vel doesn't even have a cam.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a theory about this,
Okay.
actually. Because it's not just so many. All the biggest streamers have shit equipment, right? They just do. Like they might have a good audio, but the rest of the stuff is crap sometimes. The overlays look crap. And I think like the reason, because they all have the money for it, so it must be psychologically that people are more willing to watch and sub to someone who looks like they need the money. I think personally, like there's literally probably like psychologists that have looked into it, right? because they would have it should go the same way as YouTube, and all the big YouTubers have amazing like cameras and stuff.
Yeah, that's
It just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't XQC have like a freaking red cinema camera?
Yeah, I mean,
Why
I kind of
wouldn't-
get that. It's more so like if they're leaving their overlays, you know, as is, it seems more attainable to the average viewer. They're like, okay, if their overlay looks like this, I can succeed with my overlay looking like this too. I don't need to have like, you know, beautiful, like crazy, like scenographic. What are words? Like layouts or transitions or like, you know, the top tier of equipment. I can succeed with my, you know, 2010 webcam and I don't know.
Faces
Assuming
and
that, like, I think most of those biggest streamers, the majority of their audience don't care about streaming.
Ooh,
I don't think they're thinking about that.
that is
Go on.
kind of true because we were having this discussion about I brought it up earlier with Kat, but the age of an audience, like what do you think Ludwig's audience looks like? Is it all streamers? No, that's the trick with like say Harris Heller.
All
Like,
young boys.
Harris Heller's all streamers, right? Ludwig's is all 16-year-old boys, legitimately. Because he said it. He said it because they have the statistics.
he did the statistic, yeah.
He's got like barely any women in there, and they're all kids, which is crazy because like, who's subbing to him? Like, where do they get the money from?
Mommy
Like,
and daddy.
yeah, mommy and daddy. It's the parents.
Sorry.
I think a lot about like YouTube. Like some of the biggest channels on YouTube are kids channels.
Especially now, because it's like, what are parents doing? The kids can't go outside to play, so like, here's the iPad.
Yeah,
Here's the
I see.
computer.
I was about to say something, but it doesn't make any sense because it's like. I was gonna say like it must be hard to monetize that, but it's not because I bet kids commercials do better than anything else because the parents see it, the kids want it, and they buy it. So forget I was gonna say that. It makes sense that they probably do make a lot of money, but certainly like Dreams targets at kids. Bet they don't make any money at all. Barely. Imagine going to being like a 12-year-old who loves Minecraft and going to your parents and being like, "Can I have $10 to give to this the internet?" And they'll be like, "No."
No, it's just automatically connected. It's just on the iTunes account or whatever, so that they just
exactly.
go. Who did?
Yeah, but you only get away with that once or twice before.
I don't know. It depends on how rich your parents are. And also, the credit card bill comes in 30 days. I'm going to tell you a story, and you guys are not allowed to judge me, okay?
Okay. I'm judging.
When I was... Here's the deal. Okay. When I was coming of age...
Oh, God. Once upon a time.
When I was coming of age, I was on a computer, and I found a website that made me feel a sort of way.
Oh, God.
And I was in... Nice. And my parents had, I think it was a JCPenney credit card. And I just saw it and it looked like it wasn't activated. So I said, oh, it's not activated yet. So it's fake money. So it must not be real. So what I did was I took that credit card out of the envelope and then just put the credit card information on this website. And then a month went by and I thought I was getting away scotch-free, spending money on this site of things. It was an anime site because I was a weirdo. And then they got the bill and they said, hey, Jordan, can you come look at this real quick? And I went to the computer and you guys can guess what it was. And I said, how have you been paying for this? And I said that not active credit card. And they said, that's not how it works. So I racked up about $200 in porn debt.
Holy. That could be a lot more. That could be a lot more.
It's not like they can go and get that money back. So that happens with streamers for sure sometimes. 100%.
Yeah. I
What
like
were we
somewhat
talking
saw
about?
an instance of that, like, so I mod for someone who is like relatively new to Twitch, but have a huge following on other social media platforms.
Yeah.
Audience primarily children. Someone from her stream who has also like come onto my stream and stuff like that, who I'm pretty sure is a child, gifted her like 150 plus subs. And like, that's amazing. But also, like, how old are you? Like, how?
Yeah.
I can't even do that for someone. Like,
Yeah, it gets wild. That's the whole gift. I don't know. It feels good. Like, obviously, You want to be gifted stuff. Doesn't matter where it comes from? No, because trying to monetize this hobby, but also, once again, another great reason to not be affiliated.
So I have now pretty much. I'm streaming only on YouTube for the foreseeable future to try and get my watch hours up because it does what it's insane. Like, also if you get people to like your YouTube video, it's like the boost system that Twitch was trying to do. You know, it starts recommending it to tons of people. Just I don't know. I'm starting to really like YouTube, but it's made me realize how predatory Twitch is with its money making stuff.
Ooh.
It's great for streamers, right? They gamify it. It's great for streamers. It allows streamers to like remind people to sub to them in a way that is like they can make lots of money. And it's like, hey, you've got a 3-month Twitch Prime pass, so make sure you use that on someone. Me maybe. Oh, I've got hype train going. Let's keep it going. Hype, hype, hype. Everyone emote. Hype, hype. Hype trains are like, when you really think about it, it's like a gambling tactic.
Oh. It's the camaraderie. It's everybody wants to get that up, and if you can call to action that shit, be like, oh man, only 50%. We can get the other 50%.
Yeah.
But the whole reason behind it is just to pull money out of the viewers who are there. And because I'm like fresh on YouTube and I have no one watching, I don't even have like alerts set up because the only alerts I'd get are like subscribers, right?
Who are you, me?
Yeah. Like, because I'm not monetized on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
there's no, I can go through like the Streamlabs route or like Streamlabs where like if you donate to me, it like pops up and stuff. But it made me think about just those alerts in general. Just in general, it's so inbuilt into the streaming sort of ecosystem that I never thought about it before. But having something pop up being like blah blah just subscribed is to make more people subscribe. It's like, I want my name on there. They got their name on there. I want to keep going. And it's all built in. It's just a money-making machine. And it is nice to be on YouTube and away from that a little bit, where I'm not like...
I feel like the YouTube experience is so much cleaner in that way. Like, obviously, there's still ways to monetize and whatnot, but I don't know. I also like the YouTube mobile app so much better.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Watching Harris Heller on that and being able to scrub through the feed if I miss something, or if I close my phone, I can come back to the live feed and just skip ahead. Oh, that's so nice. But yeah, it's that whole, like, a million times we've mentioned, is the gamification of the whole platform. And like, that's fine, they're business, but also at the expense of the creator. Like, how much more money do you think smaller creators would be making if they maybe took less of a cut, or say they didn't have any of that? Okay, let's say take away at least bits, and then the hype trains, and then I guess have the subs, but a better split, because you kind of want that. I guess what YouTube does, literally YouTube, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if it was YouTube.
The thing is, I'm sure YouTube are gonna gamify it though. They're gonna figure out a way to make money. I'm not saying that YouTube are like, you know, or like godsends. They're not doing it, so they've just not worked it out yet, and they don't want to straight up steal, but they will. But I don't know. It's just like, I often wonder, how much do you think you would grow if you just couldn't, or how many people do you think would stream, and how many people would grow more if, like, to get affiliate was 25 average viewers. You needed 25 average viewers to be monetized, because that's close to what YouTube does. You need so much to get monetized on YouTube, and it means you just have a lot more better creators, right?
Yeah.
The proven track record. I can click on any affiliate and be like, they could be bad. But if I see a YouTube partner, I'm like, this guy has to have a level of quality to it. So I don't know. I feel like if Twitch made that shift, which they can't now because they're stuck, I think the platform would be better. I think you would lose a lot of the lower end streamers who, I don't want to say are never going to be good, but you know, the ones who are just in it for that easy cash. And I think you'd end up with just a lot more better quality content.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that YouTube is hard to monetize because it adds to that. But once again, it's so weird that Twitch just, there's so much potential in it. It feels like, but like every week, like I said, I talked to Knock Wolf, and he's like, that's just the platform. We've been here. They haven't gone away. It's not going anywhere. And people just feed into it. It's just, I mean, I noticed that Night Owl mentioned if you remove gifted subs, a lot of creators would lose like 75% for whatever.
That's what Harris Teller's been complaining about, because Harris has moved over there now, and he's probably just lost like no joke, 70% of his income.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Like it must be a big hit. But then he makes more money on the ads.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said,
How much more money?
okay.
But then are we just thinking about it? Why are we concentrating so much on this money side of things? Like
That's
Again,
exactly.
just like that.
that's really
monetizing your hobby.
That's really the root of all my. Like you're talking about subathons earlier, and I was just like, why are you trying so hard for like to get money out of your. Like, you half preach, oh, I'm trying to build a nice small community where we're all friends and we all get on. And then you just ask your friends for money all the time.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's different if you are not working. Like, Anime, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your job, but...
It's fine, it doesn't hurt at all!
If you're not working and you're trying to tie it over, yeah, push that. But, like, don't... I know there's a lot of streamers out there who aren't looking for work. And it's like, you should. Like, your best growth strategy is to get a job and continue to do this and support yourself with the money and put that money back into building your stream. Don't just be like, you're making it so hard for yourself just to try and, like, earn a living as an affiliate.
Well, it's like what Kat, I loved the way Kat put it. She's just like, how am I going to use the stream? And that's my whole thing that I love too, is how do streamers use their stream to invest in their future in some way? My go-to is always like, if you have a great voice, you can push it into like voice acting. You can start putting yourself, building a resume of content, if you will, with voice acting on stream and stuff like that. And I love that. I love that mentality.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Ciora did a stitch of my TikTok, and she said it really well. It was like, don't limit yourself to thinking that if you stream, you have to become a full-time streamer. There's so many other venues that you can take these skills and translate them into. Like you starting content creation, broadcasting, social media management, anything. All the major companies now are building their online presence, or at least scrambling to. There are so many jobs on the market in this sphere. And I say that with a grain of salt because it still is so freaking hard to get a job. But like having these skills and fostering these skills for yourself is like has so much value. Yes, Neon, you may start.
I have to do this at home, even when we're not streaming, just at the dinner table. On average, it takes about 45 seconds for her to get to me. It's just the two of us. I can't even remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. That the big thing about this, what you can take as a streamer to elsewhere, though, is it's a little bit of... Most of that stuff's not from streaming, though. It's from the stuff around being a successful streamer. It's the social media marketing. It's the clipping. I work right now in editorial, working with editing software.
Yeah.
And I was like I have very basic stuff. I move stuff around. I cut stuff in. And I was just literally editing a YouTube video, and I went to university studying film and TV production. I have like experience in editing, not a ton, but I have experience in it, but not in like YouTube videoing. I'm learning so much from editing YouTube videos. On so many levels, about like audience retention, about like just cutting up these tiny clips, which you don't do, like cut, which you don't really do in like traditional editing. And I'm like, this is genuinely good for me. Like doing this right now, even if nothing happens, I'm taking something, I'm learning something. I think the cap of just sitting down and streaming, I think you can't keep learning.
Just from streaming alone.
But you can actually. You can learn a lot about like. Yeah, I'm gonna go back on myself. I don't mind. This is like,
that's fine.
I don't mind.
It's a conversation. That's fine. That's no stress.
Conversation just between myself. I do think.
I just want to watch him spiral.
Yeah, you're like, actually no.
When you were talking earlier about why do people stream, what's your message?
Yeah.
And Kat was like, I want to spread light and gratitude, and I was like, what's mine? I was like, do I have one? And then I was like, people are out there being like, I want to make people feel better about their lives. I want them to come into my chat and like smile and be better. And it's all these external things. And I realized what mine was. I remember why I first started streaming, and it was entirely internal. And it's because I've always had a side of me that is lacking in confidence and has had like a little bit of anxiety, and like I've never felt good enough. And I started streaming because I was like, I'm 30 years old. I thought I'd grow out of these feelings. How have I not yet? And streaming to me was like 2 middle fingers up at those feelings, being like, I'm just gonna freaking do it, and I'm gonna try and be good at it, because my insecurities are about like, people don't like me, or like I don't succeed at things. It's like, if I can succeed at something where people need to like me, then
Oh my
Two birds, one
god.
stone. Yeah.
so that's why I started. It was entirely internal, entirely selfish. And I think, by the way, it's fine if someone was also
Yeah.
like, I want to make a lot of money playing games. I think that's fine as well. But I think you should know why you start. I think everyone should have like that reasoning.
Well, now I feel like an
So,
idiot because I forget why I started.
But pressure's on you. I had forgotten why I started as well until like, I remember I was like, what even triggered me to start? And then I only remembered the other day this was why.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
I can't remember what the big trigger was. I must have watched a stream.
I mean,
I don't know what it was.
I definitely know why now. It's to push people's. Big thing is I want to talk to creators to understand why they do things. I want to push their boundaries. It's kind of fun, and also the fact that I don't want people spinning their wheels. Content creation, you can spin your fucking wheels. Like you said, it's what's crazy is doing something over and over again and not changing or whatever. What's the saying?
Yeah. What is it? Insanity. It's doing
Insanity.
the same thing over and
The
over
definition of
again,
insanity is
expecting
doing the
different
same
results.
thing over and over again. I have one of my niggling insecurities at the moment is like, I
Niggling.
keep jumping around, niggling. It niggles, constantly niggling.
I
I've jumped
mean-
around so much. I mean,
No.
I mean, you know.
anyway, you know this. I have like I've streamed on Twitch. I've tried streaming different things on Twitch. I went and multi-streamed. I streamed on Facebook, Trovo, YouTube. I went back to Twitch. So it's more engaging. And now I'm saying like I'm just gonna try streaming on YouTube for now. And it's like I've been streaming for. If it's not been a year yet, it's very close. I've jumped all around. But then and I feel like some people have kind of said it in a way, are like, really? Like, maybe you should like focus on something. And I see the idea behind that, but at the same time, goes back to what Kat was saying earlier, the A/B testing. Throw everything at the wall and like figure it out. I think more people should be doing that. I've also realized recently that 99% of people, 99.9% of people who don't make partner on Twitch, right, are like, why would you look at that and think that's the way to go? I'm gonna do what 99.9% people are failing at doing and do it the same way, which is, by the way, streaming on Twitch and posting to like Twitter and Instagram and so on. That's the big way, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we've got in our head that that's the path to go.
Yeah.
But so many people are failing.
Yeah.
And then the other ways. Oh, the trigger was I did a video on multi-streaming and someone came in, commented and was like, "Hey, multi-streaming doesn't work. No one's ever got big from multi-streaming." And I blame Howie Heller for that, because Howie Heller said that. I know
But that's
everyone's
exactly
saying
why
it.
you should do it then.
And I'm like,
because there's a
no
market
one's
for
been
it.
multi-streaming's not even been around for that long, and barely anyone's trying it. Why would you go? There's a road that
baby.
splits there's a road that splits into two, and you're going down, and like everybody's going to the right, and the destination, only 1% of people reach the destination. Like 99% of people are just dying on that road. Or you can go left where no one's ever gone before. I'm gonna go left and just take my chances.
Dude,
Yeah, exactly.
it's so true. I mean, it's once again dialing into the getting comfortable with what you're doing. If you're streaming a certain way and it's sort of working, and then it's literally why people fall into giving tips or advice on streaming, because it's easy. If you in theory are throwing everything against a wall, and one of those things is giving advice, you're gonna stick with that, and then you fall into this pattern. At least this is what I kind of see with some creators, and it's me personally. I mean, once again, I don't multi-stream because of the idea of breaking the mold or trying to do it. I multi-stream because it's a nice perk that I can have being not affiliated. But I am still trying to break that mold of I can make this work. Like if I focus on my YouTube content and I build an audience there, I will assumingly, hopefully, have viewers on YouTube. And then I will be legitimately multi-stream, which, by the way, there are people who have multi-streamed. The thing is, they have to have that audience. Once again, Alana Pierce, I think is her name. She multi-streams. She's not affiliated on Twitch, and I think she multi-streams to YouTube and Twitch.
Where were you in my comment section, Anime? Because I was just like...
I'm not on YouTube, I guess.
I feel like I mentioned this the last time I was on your show, Anime, but I was like, look at the market, and this goes for any kind of like platform you're trying to succeed on. Look at the market and where are the gaps, and
Yeah.
how can you fill those gaps? That's how people blow up. Do you see, like, Code Miko was like, I'm gonna do this weird, crazy thing. Gonna have like this. What is her thing called? She has her like little character,
her
little CG
VR,
character, her VR, yeah.
I
And then
can't.
she's like,
motion capture.
yeah,
VQ.
She calls herself the engineer, and then
yes, the engineer.
No, the
like
technician.
the
There you
tech. Thank you.
Come on, guys, are you not Miko? Are you not Miko
I'm
fanboys?
sorry, but like she saw an opportunity to do something different, and
She's so
on a
good.
platform that is so oversaturated with people doing the same thing, you are gonna like have to do something different if you want to succeed. Because why would anyone watch someone who looks like 50,000 other people?
Yep.
It's I've been saying a lot recently and thinking about it a lot recently because it's so obvious, but I never thought about it. Is like every person trying to stream right now should have a growth strategy. You should have literally a thing that you're trying to do. And anime, you have one. You have you consistently pump out good quality content.
That's okay.
And you're putting it everywhere. And that makes sense as a growth strategy because like it can get picked up from so many different places, right? That's the good growth strategy.
Yeah.
How his Hellas growth strategy was to make videos on YouTube and pull people to his Twitch. Code Miko's strategy is to like use her skill set to do something that no one else is doing on the platform, which is one of the hardest growth strategies to do. It's a growth strategy. And I'm just like, now whenever I talk to streamers who want to grow, I'm like, do you have a growth strategy? You can change them. Do what I do. Change your growth strategy every week.
Yeah.
But do you have a growth strategy? And if you do, what is it? And if it is streaming on Twitch and posting to social media, I'm like, okay, so that's the same growth strategy as like everybody else who is not getting the results they want.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, how I mentioned earlier, like, you know, from marketing, I learned just like to throw everything on the wall and see what sticks. But that is a strategy. And then from there, what's the next step? You can't just be doing stuff because you think that's how to do it without actually knowing the reason behind why you're doing it and what the next step is towards the goal you're trying to achieve. Yeah. So like, let's say you want to have all these social media platforms. Great. What do you want to do with them? Your main goal to drive traffic to your Twitch account. Okay, how are you posting? And like, how are you going to achieve that through your posting? Like, are you just going to post random stuff and like hope people see it? Are you going to add CTAs to your captions? Are you going to add links? Are you going to make people want to engage? And how? Like, it kind of goes into the like everything you do needs to be done with intention. Like, what is your intention of doing any of these things? So if you're trying to grow using these strategies, like why and how, and like create a plan around it.
Sorry, I was looking at your chat, and is it Fairy Berry was just saying?
I was about to respond. Fairy, it was having.
I was when I say doing what 99% of everyone who's like not doing well is doing. Was it Nightow who said you can earn money and pay your bills doing what everyone else is doing? You can't know because, like, out of the 99% of people who aren't like, that's people who can't make partner, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe being generous, another 10% of that are people who like can pay bills and make money. But realistically, 80% of those people are struggling to bring in the average. Like it's a humongous amount of people who are trying that strategy and not succeeding. Gigantic. So I don't think.
I think the kicker there was I think it's the Gameologist on TikTok recently put out a TikTok mentioning how everyone says you have to create content off stream, but nobody ever and for a reason, I think, and this is what gets lost is what's that content? You have to create content off stream. What is, like you said, what's your growth strategy? But the kicker is, how is your growth strategy just different enough? Now, these were growth strategy content that you have to like. It's just that the trick is that whole trying everything out, throwing it up against the wall. This is me trying to connect the dots for everybody, I guess, because I'm trying to piece this together in my little caveman mind. Is growth strategy is finding content that you like or that works, and that's doing it a lot, and then just doing it over and over again. and then trying to. It was like what Ludwig said, the yoink and twist. Is that what it was? I think it was called the yoink and twist.
Such a weird way to say
God.
it.
But
Because I'm pretty sure he yoink and twisted that phrase.
yeah,
Like he stole it. It was probably something like just the take and change.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think it's that it's trying out a bunch of different things, posting it where you can in the right places in the right way, and that also takes time. And that's the other one is time, exposure. I mean, literally the only reason that this channel has grown is because I've just been available. I've been available, both myself and my content. My content's everywhere, and I'm on everybody else's content. I mean, once again, it helps that I'm in a realm where I'm working with other creators, so I bounce off of that. But I found there weren't spaces for people to be honest or maybe say something that was controversial and then give a little bit of pushback. And I opened up that space. And it's just that small thing, because I'm not the only schmuck with a podcast. Let's be honest. Like, if I'm being fully honest, I don't exactly know what I'm doing completely different, but I guess I'm doing that. Or if it's just me being available, like I said. You just kind of have to keep doing it and figure it out. And that's the growth strategy is the growth strategy is also the growth strategy.
I think everybody should start talking about growth strategy. And I think it puts things into like, what is your growth strategy? And then stick to it. And then if it doesn't work, change the growth strategy. It should just always be at the forefront of your mind.
It's the name. Yeah, also have a catchy name, I guess, like Anime Daddy.
Daddy.
Daddy, yes. Daddy, no. What's that from? Is that from SpongeBob? That's from SpongeBob.
I think that's from when you were when you racked up all those credit card bills when you were a kid.
Listen. I can't believe. I hope nobody clipped that.
Oh God.
Once again, oversharing, like we mentioned before, oversharing. Yeah. I mentioned Wednesday. On Wednesday's show, I mentioned multi-streaming though, and how it is a strategy if you just put in the time. It's once again, you have to put the work into that. But I suggested not doing it still. Like it's too much work. It's kind of like another thing that Gameologist did was pick a platform. You don't have to be everywhere. Like I am everywhere. My content is everywhere, but you don't have to be. It helps have a wide net. But I can't focus on YouTube. Like my YouTube is crap.
No, for sure. That's something that I'm.
Go on.
Sorry, I'm like that's something that I struggle with as well. But that's also just who I am as a person. Like, even with the whole wholesome thing, like I don't like to be limited, and I don't. Even though I don't function well when I have too many options, but like I like knowing that I have the ability to be where I want to be at any given time. So that's why I have like fucking every single social media platform going on. It's like it's a lot, but like that's just who I am as a person. And actually, what was it, Neon? The other day we were talking about your stream anime and how you were like multi-streaming, and we were talking about how it's great that you're multi-streaming, but the purpose of multi-streaming is to, in the end, or at least the way we see it, is to pick the platforms that are doing the best for you and then honing in on those. So right now you're multi-streaming to everywhere, but if YouTube and Twitch are doing the best for you, pour in more energy into those. Like this is your A/B testing right now. You're testing all the platforms. If there's one that's literally not doing anything for you, you can cut it. Yeah. And then if you want, come back to it later. But
I mean that's Trovo and Facebook. I'm currently live on Trovo. I will say like not Instagram. Listen to me, like a fucking boomer. Instagram. TikTok. Like I'm live on TikTok right now with the whole show. Like it's a little messy because I had to figure out how to put the chat and 3 people on. But anyway, it's the full show and TikTok, and I know I rat on it when you go live on TikTok and you don't pay attention to it. But the fact is that tool of going live there pushes people over to Twitch, and multi-streaming to TikTok is full on. Trovo. I just saw the push through, which also I'm so happy that the little emblem comes up. But it's if I were to suggest multi-streaming, because even though I give the mostly full experience on TikTok, people see the chat and go, oh, I'll just jump over to Twitch or maybe YouTube. And if anything, that's what multi-streaming does, is it pushes people to where everybody else is.
Which is like you'll be grabbing people then from other places, which you wouldn't do if you weren't multi-streaming. My issue with multi-streaming, because I've stopped multi-streaming now. Yeah. I had a growth strategy before this one, which was make videos about Trovo on YouTube, and then direct people like the Harris Heller growth method, but with Trovo.
True.
Push people to Trovo, but if I multi-stream to both YouTube and Trovo, then people are either seeing my videos on YouTube where I'm live, or moving over to my Trovo. It's like, it made sense. And then I just got nowhere with Trovo at all, because that site hates me. And
Trovo's
and I'm like,
weird.
it just wasn't worth it for me to go and try full time on Trovo, because I know I will be spending weeks, if not months, streaming to no one. So that's why I tried I think multi-streaming works there. You know, it really does depend on your strategy. I think there is a place for multi-streaming. I don't think it's a long-term goal, though. I think it's just...
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
honestly, even if it's just, like, TikTok, Twitch, or TikTok, YouTube, or the three, like I said, Trovo and Facebook, I really do enjoy having the options, though. It's nice that I can give my audience an option of, if they're mobile, the full show, for the most part, is on TikTok. I love using TikTok. It's where a lot of my audience is, so I can even go live on Twitter and Instagram right now if I wanted to, but that would be a lot. My audience is on TikTok. And then Facebook is great because once again, I love that app. It's just... not a lot of people are watching me on Facebook for whatever reason, whether they don't want to show their name, or they don't use YouTube, or they don't want to sub to me, which that's fine. I guess you don't have to sub to me on YouTube. But then Twitch is where it's just, because Twitch has that camaraderie, that hub of community is right there. If you want the full chat experience and you want to be involved 100% and not through a bot, maybe, because I know YouTube, my bot pushes it through, you can go right to the Twitch. But I love giving that option. So I think I will always be a multi-streamer.
And I think it's fine if it's not costing you any more energy than you would already be putting out. Because for you, you're like, it's you said it once in your OBS, go live, done.
That's exactly it. I'm not putting any...
Are you paying for Restream, though?
What's that?
Are you paying for Restream, though?
There's
nothing wrong with that if you want to. Like, I know with the multi-stream I use, Streamlabs, I had to pay. And I know Restream, you have to pay if you don't want the branding on there. And you've just got to think, is that worth... like, is what you're getting out of that, if it is one or two people coming from another place you're streaming to, coming to your Twitch, worth... $10 a month or whatever.
Also, I think you should try, instead of streaming to Trovo, swap that out with Instagram.
Streaming to Instagram? I still think LinkedIn is the place to make content.
LinkedIn, but can you live stream on LinkedIn?
You have to...
I believe
you can, but you have to go through a bunch of different hoops.
Right, yeah.
There's, like, not anybody can stream on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I
would
think about
suggest
it,
you
Anime. I'm just going to talk over Cat for a second. I win this one. I never win. Yes! Right.
Cat, hold that thought.
What this podcast is kind of a lot of career advice, and that's what LinkedIn excels at.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cat, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to try to push him to live stream on Instagram more, because it's like you already have a audience on Instagram that knows you from Twitch. It will. I personally think it will serve you more than Trovo. At least worth trying out.
I mean,
I think you should just stream to YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. I think you should push YouTube. I still think YouTube is like what everybody should be focusing on.
LinkedIn for boomers. The thing is, my LinkedIn, I need to redo my LinkedIn, because it's all... I don't follow anyone on LinkedIn, and it's only discoverable if you... I don't even know how... It's supposed to be super discoverable, but I think it's actually through connections of connections of connections. I don't actually know how LinkedIn works, and it scares me, and I don't understand it.
Well, Neon and I were talking about this, but like LinkedIn, because there's so many people now who are unemployed and who are taking on more creative adventures like this that are not necessarily like LinkedIn material, LinkedIn will eventually learn to adopt like these types of careers onto their platform. So if you're the first one on there doing stuff like this, you're probably going to be really big.
LinkedIn wants to make money.
They
just going to copy what the others are doing.
They just came out with a creator type profile, which I have to look into, like where you can change it over. I don't know the specifics, but they definitely, for building brands on the internet and stuff like this, I don't know if it's particularly for like gamers and streamers, but it definitely sounds like something we could take advantage of. I just have to, I forget who I was listening to that mentioned that, but it's, LinkedIn is just one, the other end is another thing I have to invest in. It's another thing I have to research how to build. I have to put time into building that page, and it's that's the tough part is doing my time. But I think I'm gonna stick with TikTok for sure. Oh, McQueeb's over there. What's up, McQueeb? See, look, like people I know are on TikTok right now, just hanging out and watching. What's up, guys? TikTok. I think I used to go live on Instagram as well, but I feel like Instagram's dying. Though I do have an audience there, and people would come and watch.
I feel like Instagram's just not for. It's like for model photography. It's so. If you
Instagram's
are
dying. It's
gorgeous
not-
looking and take gorgeous photos, then Instagram is where you need to be.
Yeah.
But if that's not like your skill set, then don't do Instagram.
Instagram is not dying. It's just not like TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just an
think so.
aesthetic. It's just an aesthetic.
It
social
functions
media.
as its own it's a different platform.
Yeah, like I said, there's people over there who follow me on everything, but sometimes there's still plenty of people that follow me, who only use Instagram or use Instagram still
Yeah.
more predominantly because people are still scared to get
Yeah.
on TikTok for whatever reason, whether they think it's a kid's app or they don't think it's worth their time, etc., etc. It goes into that net thing. So I think I'm sleeping on if I can stream everywhere, I might as well. I have 64 gigs of RAM. I might as well burn this bitch out, you know?
Instagram
scared
is
to
an
get on
incredible tool and platform for brand building because it has all the functions that you can utilize to tell people who you are. You got your stories for live notifications. You got your posts for that evergreen content that's going to live on your platform. You now have the reels, which kind of functions like TikTok. TikTok is about like showing giving people a little bit of insight or like showing off your personality. Like who just mentioned it, like Instagram is kind of like looking at a magazine, but yeah, like I go to someone's Instagram if I want to see like their overall image. I don't want to have to scroll through every single TikTok video to get a guess of who they are. I want to look at their Instagram feed and be like, I can kind of gauge who they are as a person, as a brand. I can tell what their stream is about from looking at their feed.
Yeah, my feed on Instagram is reels and videos and like the promo posts. I don't even know what I'd post on my Instagram to like be a photo other than my dog. I like stories. When I keep up with stories, I like them because they're personable and it's kind of like the stories to me are kind of like a tweet. Like I think I need to treat my stories and even my fleets like my tweets, where it's just these little moments that I can share because that's how you get to know the creator. So it's super tricky. But real quick, what did B3J, which definitely is just
I was
BJ.
gonna say about Blue. Oh, I was gonna say Blue Horn.
Yeah.
Or i3 Blue Horn. He was saying that he doesn't have the upload speed to multi-stream. I don't believe it. You just stream out one, and then you stream to like Restream or Streamlabs, and then their service handle the which is why I'm suspicious that there's a lot of delay. There's more delay when you multi-stream.
Well,
to certain things, especially to YouTube, I think.
Yeah, everything goes through Restream, but then I have a separate instance of OBS where I open up Lula TV where I can stream to TikTok because I have to go through another service.
You have two stream out, but most people who multi-stream, if you're just streaming through Restream, I think it takes a tiny bit more. It's a little bit more on your CPU or whatever. I should say, but
I think the CPU is a major thing. Like I said, I have the highest of high-end nonsense because I had the money and the. So.
Me too. Guys, get off Streamlabs. Streamlabs uses so much.
Oh god, yeah. I need to do that. Also, Fairy Berry, yeah. Like I feel like you should be treating your Instagram like a portfolio, like it's your media kit. So, but like you see brands have Instagrams, and you go on their Instagram, and you're like, I can tell what their feed, what their products are, who their target audience is, what their message is. You should be treating your thing the same way. Like I started integrating like kind of like inspirational gratitude quotes into my Instagram. They don't perform that well, but in the overall holistic view of my profile, you can be like, hey, that's her brand message. This is kind of what she stands for. This is her aesthetic. This is her probably her target audience. Like that's how I see like that's what the function of Instagram is to me.
Yeah, I need to figure out what those posts are because, like I said, all I do right now is just clips, and it's kind of muddy. I need to figure out what exactly I want to put there, but. Everybody, it's about that time. Any Patreon members that want to hang out, I'm gonna do a private session. Whether or not you guys want to hang or not, just for my Patreon members. But
I need to bounce. But thank
Rude.
you so much for having me.
Can you order food so we can eat?
Please. I'm hungry.
Burritos. This is what I was thinking about.
Sure, but whatever.
Are you hungry now?
I'm starving.
You don't leave us. This is why we end up rushing.
Yeah, I know.
I promise I want 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes for Patreon content.
Oh, for sure.
That's all I ask.
All right. That's what I'm saying. Neon orders the food now, and then I can do the Patreon stuff.
Fine. What kind of sauce do you want with your chicken nuggets?
You know what my McDonald's order is.
Oh
They
my
know it. Like
God.
I go into the app and it just says the usual.
Yeah.
In fact, they ordered it for us. It's on its way.
Yeah.
Shit.
Just reorder. Pop.
All right, everybody, hold on. We're gonna raid out. Raid message is #GurtGang because we're gonna raid into Sleepwalker. She is a homie, fellow Patreon member. She's streaming right now. Home Sweet Home. I want to assume that's a scary game because she
What's
does
the raid
horror.
message though?
GurtGang.
How do you
Gang.
spell that?
Gross.
It is what it is. I don't know, man.
Gert, G-E-R-T.
Yeah.
Gert.
G-U, like yogurt.
Oh, Gert. Gang.
Because I ate Chobani a lot. Now it's Cinnabon. I don't know,
And
man.
have you Googled this? To say
What it
sure
means.
it's not bad.
I'm on Urban Dictionary. Gert.
I don't want to because apparently Unsable says it means man girt, and I don't want to believe that because it is what it is. Sleep.
Gang was the name of a sword from Lord of the Rings.
Unbelievable. Unstable is still here. Absolutely
Disgusting.
disgusting. Up, cancel. It's the wrong thing.
I'm on like a Tolkien Wikipedia now.
/raid. Hold on. Let me spell this right. Sleep with 3 E's. Walker 2 A. Come on, girl. Too many
Gang
A's, too
raid.
many E's. Why is it not showing? Sleep. Why do I keep not putting enough in? I'm pissed.
Are you broken? It's broken.
I'm broken. I'm literally broken. Which one of you did a Gurt gang?
Which one of us?
Thank you, Roxy. Jesus.
Oh man.
Roxy out here. Also, shouts out Roxy, fellow Patreon member. Once again, anybody who's a Patreon member, feel free to jump in the waiting room channel if you want to join in. If not, no worries. Control V, Sleepwalker, raid. Oh, we did it! Hell yeah! Oh, I haven't had my my view count on. Holy shit! Coming through.
Don't look at it.
No, I
You
looked
should
at it.
only be looking at your statistics like
Hell yeah!
every
Disgusting.
so often.
Everybody, thank you for coming out today. It's been fantastic. Wednesday, Complain Cast. Hopefully there's some more drama to talk about, and I'll find another topic. So I'll talk to you guys. Rating out now.
Bye.
Rating out. TikTok is still alive. I guess we should end the TikTok.
Should I #GurtGang? Is that what we do?
You could do it if you want.
I'm scared.
Oh my gosh, she's being stabbed right now.
Hashtag? I'm saying Gert Gang Raid.
It's okay. You can say whatever you want.
And
Gert Gang
#GurtGang.
Raid.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna do GurtGang. I feel like I'm